the right hat.
How are you guys so good on restarts? It seems like every time you get a challenge, a late restart, you're able to move out front.
You know, it's something I've really had to work on here, and it really is the driver. I've lost, although I know everybody's going to say it's not the case because I've won a bunch here, but I've lost plenty in not being good on the short run at the end of the race. As the shadows come across the track changes, you're usually on older tires, and you can't drive the car like you did on new tires. And I've finally have learned over the years, after I gave a few away and watched Gordon, really take advantage of me and then of others too, because he's so good at it and has that experience, and have adapted it to the way I drive this track at the end of the day.
I think they said you never were behind fourth place all day today. So obviously qualifying key, but the key to staying up front all day. You didn't make a single error or the pits. Nothing. It was nothing.
This was the most composed our team's ever been at the racetrack over the course of a weekend. We unloaded, had a feeling how the track would act, stayed to our plan, knowing what we thought we needed to do through qualifying, and it worked. Got into race practice, and we weren't the fastest, but we knew where we wanted our car come race time, and started the race as we wanted to, and that thing took off like a rocket, and I had an amazing car all day long. So, experience really does pay off, especially at a track like this where technology doesn't change much. The speeds are slow enough where it's just good old short track racing, and driver technique and the setup doesn't really change much over the years. We've been able to come back and repeat year after year.
New car, new tire, yet you guys still dominated today. What made that possible?
The speeds are so low that the changes with the styling of the car and the shape of the body don't really impact how the car drives here. So the new car element is less of an impact here than anywhere. The tire, we were concerned about it, but it didn't act a ton different than what we had seen on the old tire. I don't think it laid as much rubber on the track, so it changed your race setup some, but as far as the comfort in the car and our setup hitting the racetrack from the first few laps, it didn't act poorly with our race car. Our car took off and ran great, so it was kind of a non-issue, the new car and the tire for us.
Where does this clock go in your collection?
I have a very, very cool man space, man cave. I call it my warehouse, and I have 6 in there, 1 in my office, and this one will go next to those other 6 in my man space. And I'll go in there and cheers it with a beer each time I walk in.
After the last red flag, 15 laps to go, the red flag, how worried were you, concerned? I'm sure you didn't want to see that 15 to go.
Yeah, I had a great lead, and the caution came out, which you're always concerned about. And I felt like if we were all on the same tires, I was going to be in great shape. So when the pits opened up and a lot of guys stayed out with me, I then felt very good about our chances. But during that red flag and wondering what second, third, fourth was going to do, that was the hardest part. But once they stayed out, it's just time to zero in and focus and do my job.